Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. This is your host, Howard Fox. The Outdoor Adventure Series celebrates individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, and access and enjoyment of the great outdoors. Our guest today is Robert Annis. Robert is an outdoor travel writer and gear reviewer. He gets paid to go out in the woods and, as he likes to say, chronicle the stupid things he does. Now, I don't believe that. His goal is to have readers say, if this guy can do it, well, so can I. Robert, it is a pleasure to have you on the Outdoor Adventure Series. Thank you for joining us.
Howard, super stoked to be here.
My gut initial reaction is like, how stoked are you here, buddy? Uh, but, I'm really so happy you were open to joining us and for our listeners. Like some of the past guests we've had, I met Robert for the first time up in Casper, Wyoming in May at the Outdoor Writers Association of America's, their annual conference. And Robert was one of the panelists, and he was chatting about creating work and reusing it. And it's like, this is a cool guy. He's also got a great beard, which, by the way, on our YouTube channel, you're going to see it. But Robert, yeah, thank you so much. And I could tell you're not on the road. You're in your home, I guess.
My wife, Dee, has let me back in the house for a little bit at least. So, yeah, I'm probably going to be here for a few more weeks and then heading up to Michigan, back to Isle Royal National Park.
Isle Royal,
and-
something I am like incredibly envious. I grew up in Michigan and I know exactly where Isle Royal is, Isle Royale. Which one is it? Is it Royal or Royale?
it's Royal. And for years, I kept on calling it Royale. And then, going up there, I'm like, oh, I've been saying it wrong for 10 plus years.
Oh my, is this going to be the first time you have been up there?
No, I was there last year. I did a quick hiking trip up there for Midwest Living magazine. And yeah, it was great. Beautiful national park. It's the least visited national park in the lower 48. Um, and the reason why isn't because it's not incredibly beautiful. It's just hard to get there.
You have to want to get there.
Exactly.
Okay,
It,
so I'm an opportunistic podcaster, by the way. You'll learn that eventually during the episode. But the next time, not this coming time, but the one after you get back to Isle Royal, you have to let me know because I have never been there and I've always wanted to go there.
Well, I wish we would have had this conversation sooner because I've got an extra kayak for this trip.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I'm for Folders magazine or Folders website. I'm traveling up there. I'm traveling to the largest lake or the largest island on the largest lake on the largest island on the largest lake in the world. So it's just yet another really stupid adventure that I'll be writing about.
I'm like really intrigued by these, as you call them, stupid adventures. So, first of all, how did Fodor's get to you to say, Robert, we want you to do this? Or do they have a pitching mechanism and you respond to it? How'd that happen?
Well, I pitched them, and normally my pitching prod for when I pitch an article, I come up with an idea, and then I think it's like, who have I worked with in the past that this would be a good fit for? So I met one of the Folders editors at a conference, not OWAA, but another conference, and talked to him about it. And he was very intrigued. So now I'm working with a different editor there, but they're super stoked about it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. I originally planned to do it with another buddy, travel writer friend of mine, but he's going to be out of the country at the time. So right now it looks like I might just be going solo.
When you get there, this solo adventure, I mean, it takes effort to get there. For folks that don't know where it is, go up and hopefully my geography teacher, may they rest in peace, will not turn in their wherever. but it's in the upper end of Lake Michigan. It's on Lake Michigan,
Lake
right?
Superior.
It is Lake Superior. Okay,
Mhm.
so it's off of. Is it that would be West Minnesota, wouldn't it?
Well, you can take a ferry from the Minnesota side or the Michigan side.
You're going from the Michigan side.
I'm going from the Michigan side, Copper Harbor,
Cop.
Michigan, which is also some of the best mountain biking in the Midwest.
Oh my, I just exchanged a message. See, I told you this was like having a conversation with a friend you haven't seen in 15 years. See, I warned you. So this is not going to be our traditional episode today, Robert. Let me tell you. I was just having an Instagram chat with some folks that have a biking business up in Copper Harbor.
Oh, great. Cool.
I'm wondering if they met me because they knew you or something. That's got to be. But so you're going to go up to Copper Harbor, which is I went up there when I was like a little kid with my parents and my sister, and that's a long trek to even get from Copper Harbor to Isle Road.
It is. If I remember correctly, I think it might be 2 or 4 hours via the ferry. I can't remember which, but you're definitely on there for a while. But, you're on Lake Superior, it's just gorgeous. And then when you finally see that landmass up ahead, you just feel those butterflies just come up, and you're just so excited to actually get on land and get started.
Okay, then how long once you get onto Isle Road would you be there?
This time around, probably a few days. So from the ferry, I'm going to paddle the southern end, then for, I think it's like several miles. Then I'm going to have a couple of portages to get from Lake Superior onto like several smaller lakes. So I'm going to
Okay,
kind of have to hopscotch from overland. And finally, after I think two portages, then I'll get to the lake and the island that
okay.
is the ultimate destination. And then after that, I'll just spend a couple more days just hiking around, just exploring the beauty of the park.
Oh my God, I am like what's going through my head right now is you're having this conversation with me and explaining this, Howard, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm thinking to myself, okay, can I make this work? Oh God, life is so confusing sometimes. It's so hard. So how did you, I wanted to ask, how did you get into this position of being this freelance outdoor journalist? Before we answer that question, or you answer that question, for our listeners, share with us a little bit about your background, just to give them some context. Like, who is this guy?
Oh gosh.
In
Um,
like 500 words or less, by the way.
well, most of my editors will tell you that's impossible for me, but I will try.
By the way,
So yeah, so I was a newspaper journalist for the Indianapolis Star for several years. And then just like with pretty much every other newspaper reporter, I got uh, kind of caught in the layoffs. And
a
so,
little pink piece of paper.
yeah, I
Okay.
got the I got the message from my boss saying, "Hey, can we have a quick talk?" So that was kind of devastating because for years being a newspaper reporter, I mean, that was that was my ultimate dream. That's everything. My most of my life was wrapped up in that. So so after I got laid off, it took me a little while to kind of figure out my next move. So I went ahead and started freelancing
Mhm.
for various websites and magazines. And before long, I realized, well, I'm making a pretty decent living, a decent living for a freelancer, which is still hand to mouth. But luckily, my wife, who is the brains of the outfit, she's always had a very good, steady job. Uh, so,
God
uh,
bless her.
so she's the one who allows me to go on all my trips. She's the one like pushing me out the door and
Uh,
saying, "Sorry, I need a little bit of space. Why don't
she's
you?"
got a good life. I mean, when she gets tired of you, said, "Don't you have like a project you need to work on?" And
Oh, yeah, that happens more often than you would think.